Hi, everyone. Welcome to Manny's Story Time, where I tell tales of growing up in Richmond, California. Um, Today's story, man, I'll never forget this. I had a really close friend, man. His name was Wally. We knew each other since we were like 9, 10 years old. We grew up together. He passed on a few years ago, but anybody that watches this video that grew up in Richmond knows exactly who Wally is. I'm not going to say his last name, but he was a good dude, man. I love that dude. But anyway, when we were like, man, we're like 13 years old. I'll never forget this. And I grew up on this street. I've said this in my other videos. It's not Pullman Street. It's actually in San Pablo. San Pablo and Richmond are right next to each other. Wally actually lived in Richmond, and I lived in San Pablo at the time. And man, we used to hang out all the time. Me, Wally, our buddy Johnny, and Johnny. Everybody will know who he is probably too. But anyway, man, there were these down the street from where I lived. There were these fucking brothers. They were like there was like a halfway house, and they were the only two guys in there at the time. Other people would come and go, but this dude, man, his name I think was Buddy. And he had a crazy brother with he had these big ass bifocal glasses. Fucking things were like that. He used to take them off and drop them to show everybody they were so thick they wouldn't break. They were just, I think there were a little something wrong with them. But anyway, they were older than us. We were, like I said, like 13. I don't even think, maybe we were 14 years old. And they were always at home, and we would talk to him, and one of them had a gun, man. He always had this little, it was like a little 25 caliber Beretta or something, but it was a gun. He would let us shoot it and shit. This fucking dude was crazy, man. We go in his bedroom, and he let us put the fucking gun into his pillow and just shoot his fucking pillow into his bed. Fucking weirdo, man. But anyway, we were kids. We thought it was cool, man. It was got a gun. He lets us shoot it. And he was always playing with that fucking gun. And one day we were over there. I don't remember what the circumstance was, but we got into an argument with him. He's like, fuck you. And we were like, fuck you. He was way older and way bigger than us. But, we were just like, fuck you. And he pulled the gun on us. And I was like, oh, okay. So I went home, and my dad had this slingshot. It was called a wrist rocket. Everybody knows, I'm sure everybody knows what a fucking wrist rocket is. If you don't, Google it. But these things, man, I mean, you can drop a fucking coyote with one of these things. You got some ball bearings, you hit it in the head. This thing will do some fucking damage. You slip your hand up in it, and you can draw that fucker back. And I used to play with it, shoot it all the time. My whole life, my dad would always have these wrist rocket slingshots. So I shot him a lot. I was pretty accurate with it. So I went home, and I dug through my dad's toolbox, and I found a bunch of ball bearings. And we went back, and this fucking buddy guy lives right here, and right across the street was my cousin's house. I'm not going to say their name. I don't know if they want to be on here or not. And we're like, yeah, fuck you. And the motherfucker comes out. But it's like summer vacation, so it's middle of the day, so everybody's at work. Back then, everybody used to work. And he fucking comes out. We're hiding behind the car, and he shoots at us. He fucking shot. Now, this gun was like a 25, dude. You couldn't hit shit with it. If it wasn't right in front of you, you can hit. So we were hiding behind a car, and it kind of bounced, and I was like, that motherfucker. So I got a ball bearing in that slingshot. I was like, fuck you. And I pulled it back, and I went, and it was, right across the street, and I fucking whack, and I hit him, boom, in the stomach, and he went, ah. I fucking hit him. It didn't pierce his skin, but I guess it hurt. You know what I mean? And there was this like walkway that he had to go through to get to his house. So he turned around, he started running. I got another one. I was like, whack, and I hit him right in the fucking back hard. And he was like, screaming like a little bitch. Hey, man, you pulled a gun on us. You know what I mean? And Wally, anybody knew Wally, man. Wally was crazy as fuck. He was cracking up. He wasn't scared. Neither one of us were really scared. And then the dude ran in his house. So I fucking shot into the door a couple times. And it was this cheap ass hollow core door. I shot right through his fucking door a couple times. So, we're laughing at and shit. We went home. Well, there was a lady that owned and ran that fucking halfway house, man. And this motherfucker pulls a gun on some 14-year-old kids, and we come back with a slingshot and fuck him up, and he calls crying to the lady that owns that place. So I didn't think anything about it. So I'm at home, we got a knock on the door. It's this fucking lady. She's all pissed off. Hey, you fucked up the door over there. I had to go down there and putty up the holes. Fucking door. Piece of shit. Anyway, later on in life, man, I grew up to be a pretty big guy. I got into martial arts and kickboxing and shit. And I ran into that dude later, but he was cool. You know what I mean? I used to work at a tire company and he worked at a tow place, and we kind of ran into each other, and there was no bad blood, man. We were kind of laughing about it and shit. But I fucked him up worse with that slingshot than he got me with that fucking gun. Anyway, that's the kind of shit that used to happen in Richmond, California back in the 70s and 80s. All right, you guys, have a great night. Thanks. Bye.